Let me ask you this. Have you ever found yourself so caught up in what others are doing that you lose sight of your own path? You see, it's easy to get distracted by the lives and actions of those around us, to compare ourselves to what we think we should be. But here's the truth. The key to living a fulfilled life is focusing on yourself, your goals, and your growth. When you turn your energy inward and put your time and effort into what truly matters to you, that's when the magic happens. No one else can live your life for you. The only person you need to compete with is the one you were yesterday. Your journey, your goals, and your potential are all in your hands, and it's up to you to make the decision to keep moving forward, no matter what others are doing. So, today I want you to think about this. Stop measuring your progress against others. Focus on your own vision, your own growth, and your own path. You are your greatest investment. And when you commit to that, everything else will fall into place. Here, 6 powerful headings are: 1, the power of self-focus, shifting your energy inward. 2, breaking free from comparison, why your journey is unique. 3, investing in yourself, the key to unlocking your full potential. 4, the distraction of external validation, why it's holding you back. 5, expressing your own pace. Growth isn't a race. 6, taking control, how to make yourself the priority in your own life. Explanation of one heading is, one of the most powerful things you can ever do in your life is to shift your focus inward. Too many people spend their time and energy looking outside themselves, watching others, comparing themselves to the next person, thinking they need someone else's approval, or trying to live up to someone else's idea of success. But what if I told you that the real power, the real potential lies within you? You've been gifted with everything you need to succeed, but it's up to you to turn your energy inward, to start focusing on what matters most, your own growth and your own future. When you focus on yourself, it's not about being selfish. It's about taking the time to understand your strengths, your weaknesses, your goals, and your values. It's about taking control of your life and shaping it the way you want, rather than letting external circumstances or the opinions of others dictate your direction. You have within you the power to become the person you're meant to be. But first, you need to direct your energy inward to look at yourself with honesty and clarity. Imagine what your life would look like if you spent just a fraction of the time you currently invest in worrying about others, in wondering what they think, and comparing your progress to theirs, on focusing on your own path. What if you could focus on your personal growth, your health, your ambitions, and your dreams without being distracted by the noise around you? The results would be transformative. But here's the thing, shifting your energy inward is a choice. It's not always easy. It requires discipline, self-awareness, and the courage to stop seeking validation from the outside world. It means that you must stop measuring your worth by the standards others set for you, whether it's their accomplishments, their approval, or their opinions of your success. When you start measuring yourself against your own potential, against the person you were yesterday, that's when things really start to change. You have the power to choose your thoughts, your actions, and your focus. And let me tell you something, this is a game changer. Most people let life happen to them. They let the outside world dictate how they feel, how they act, how they respond. But when you take the reins, when you decide that you are in control of your thoughts and your focus, you begin to create a life that's not influenced by outside forces, but by your own intentions and actions. When you focus on yourself, you start to recognize where you need to grow. You become aware of the areas in your life that need improvement, the habits that hold you back, the mindset that limits you, and more importantly, you start doing something about it. Every step you take toward becoming the best version of yourself adds up. It's not about making huge leaps overnight, but about making small, consistent progress. You begin to see that the real work is internal, the way you think, the way you act, the way you shape your reality. And guess what? This is where true self-confidence comes from. It doesn't come from comparing yourself to others or measuring your worth by external standards. Real confidence is built by recognizing your own value, by focusing on your growth, and by taking consistent action toward becoming the person you were meant to be. When you know that you're working on yourself, when you know that you're moving toward your own goals, you start to feel unstoppable. Think about it. When you're focused on yourself, you stop worrying about what everyone else is doing. You stop being distracted by their success, their achievements, or their opinions of you. You don't need anyone else's approval because you know that you're doing the work. You know that you're making progress. You know that you're building a future that's designed by you and for you. And that's powerful. Focusing on yourself also allows you to tap into your true potential. There's no one else who can live your life for you. No one else has your unique combination of talents, experiences, and dreams. You are the one who knows your heart, your passions, and your purpose. When you invest the time to focus inward to understand who you are and what you truly want, you can start creating a life that aligns with your deepest desires. But here's the catch. This isn't about selfishness or being indifferent to others. It's about understanding that by focusing on yourself and becoming the best version of who you are, you can be a better partner, friend, parent, and contributor to the world around you. You can't pour from an empty cup, and when you take care of yourself first, you'll have so much more to give to others. So take a moment right now to ask yourself, what's your focus? Where are you putting your energy? Is it helping you grow? Is it pushing you forward, or is it distracting you from what really matters? Your life is yours to create, and it begins the moment you decide to focus on yourself, to believe in your potential, and to make the commitment to become the person you were always meant to be. Focus on yourself. Not to exclude others, but to build a life that is truly yours, a life that is rooted in your own power, purpose, and potential. The greatest investment you can make is in you. Explanation of heading 2 is, one of the most limiting things we can do to ourselves is get caught up in the comparison game. It's so easy to look around and measure our progress against someone else's. We scroll through social media and see the highlight reels of other people's lives and wonder why we aren't at the same place, doing the same things, or achieving the same successes. But let me tell you something. This kind of thinking is a trap. It's a trap that keeps you from fully realizing your own potential and keeps you from appreciating the uniqueness of your journey. You see, when you compare yourself to someone else, you're overlooking the fact that your life is entirely different from theirs. Your experiences, your challenges, your dreams, everything about you is unique. No one else has lived your life, walked your exact path, or faced the exact obstacles you've encountered. So why on earth would you measure your progress against someone else's story? Truth is, it's like trying to compare apples to oranges. We each have our own starting point, our own set of circumstances, and our own timeline for success. And that's okay. In fact, it's more than okay. It's the beauty of life. Breaking free from comparison starts with understanding that no one else can walk your path. You are the only one who has been given your set of talents, skills, and experiences. And when you focus on your own journey, when you stop worrying about what everyone else is doing, you open yourself up to a world of possibilities. It's only when you stop looking left and right and start looking within that you begin to understand what you're truly capable of. Imagine, for a moment, what your life would look like if you stopped measuring yourself by the success or failures of others. What if you stopped thinking that you need to be where someone else is, or that you should have what they have by a certain age? What if you recognize that your journey is unfolding exactly the way it should, at the pace it should, and that every step you take is moving you closer to your own success? 2, when you let go of comparison, you free yourself to focus on your own growth. You realize that your progress is not dependent on what anyone else is doing. It's all about where you are now and where you want to go. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with being inspired by others. Seeing someone else achieve something can light a fire in you. It can motivate you to do better. But there's a big difference between drawing inspiration and falling into the trap of comparison. Inspiration is healthy. It propels you forward. But comparison, it drags you down. It makes you question your worth. It makes you feel like you're not good enough, that you're falling behind, or that you're somehow missing out. But that's a false narrative. The only comparison you need to make is with the person you were yesterday. Are you moving forward? Are you growing? Are you becoming the person you've always dreamed of becoming? That's the only question that matters. And here's something important to remember. Every step you take is progress. You might not be where you want to be yet, and that's okay. In fact, it's more than okay, it's normal. Success isn't a destination, it's a journey. It's the consistent, persistent effort you put in every single day to improve, to grow, and to learn. So stop comparing your beginning to someone else's middle or end. You don't know the full story behind anyone else's success. You don't know the struggles, the failures, or the sacrifices they've had to make to get where they are. And you don't need to know. Your focus should be on your own path and on becoming the best version of yourself. Think about it this way. Imagine you're driving down a road. The only way to get to your destination is to keep your eyes on the road ahead of you. If you keep glancing over to the car next to you, if you keep looking at where they are and how fast they're going, you're going to miss important signs, turns, and opportunities. You might even crash. Your journey is your own. It's yours to navigate, to shape, and to grow. The moment you stop looking at where someone else is and start focusing on where you are and where you want to go, that's when you truly start making progress. And here's the real secret to breaking free from comparison. Start owning your own story. Be proud of where you've come from, the lessons you've learned, and the obstacles you've overcome. No one else has walked in your shoes. No one else knows what it's like to be you, to have your experiences, and to face the challenges that are uniquely yours. When you embrace your own story, when you stop trying to fit into someone else's narrative, you unlock a deep sense of fulfillment and power. Remember, your journey is unfolding exactly as it should. It doesn't matter what others are doing or where they are on their path. It only matters where you are and where you're going. Every step you take brings you closer to becoming the person you were meant to be. So stop comparing yourself to others. Break free from the chains of comparison. Your journey is unique and it's yours to create. Embrace it, own it, and know that the best is yet to come. Explanation of heading 3 is when you think about investing, what comes to mind? Most people think about money, stocks, real estate, or a business venture. But the most important investment you can ever make is in yourself. That's right. You are the best asset you will ever have. And when you choose to invest in your own growth, your own development, you're unlocking a world of possibilities. The returns on this investment, they are immeasurable. Not only will you see changes in your personal life, but you also start to see improvements in your relationships, career, and overall happiness. The thing is, many people spend so much of their energy investing in external things, material possessions, the opinions of others, or even their job titles, without realizing that true success starts from within. The most valuable thing you can do for yourself is to pour energy, time, and effort into becoming a better version of you. It's not about waiting for someone else to recognize your potential. It's about taking full responsibility for your growth and making the conscious decision to invest in yourself every single day. When you invest in yourself, you're essentially saying, I am worth the effort. And that's powerful. Think about it. How many times have you put others' needs ahead of your own? How many times have you neglected your own dreams and desires to help others or chase things that weren't aligned with your true purpose? When you invest in yourself, you are prioritizing your future, your dreams, and your well-being. You are saying that you believe in your own potential and are willing to take the steps necessary to unlock it. But investing in yourself doesn't just mean going back to school or learning a new skill. It means taking the time to nourish your mind, your body, and your spirit. It means reading books that challenge your thinking, listening to content that helps you grow, surrounding yourself with people who inspire you, and taking care of your health. Investing in yourself also means taking risks, stepping out of your comfort zone, and pushing through the fear and doubts that inevitably arise when you try something new. It's about developing resilience, confidence, and a mindset that will carry you through even the most difficult of times. Think about your life right now. What have you invested in so far? Have you put effort into learning more about yourself, into your skills, into your personal growth? Or have you been waiting for something outside of you to change in order to see a shift in your life? The truth is, if you want something different, you have to become something different. You need to develop new skills, adopt new habits, and develop the mindset that will take you to new levels of success. And that starts with investing in you. And it's important to recognize that investment isn't always about money. Sure, you may decide to spend money on courses or books, but the real investment comes in the form of your time and energy. Are you investing your time wisely? Are you putting your energy into activities that bring you closer to your goals, or are you wasting it on things that don't serve your greater purpose? Your time and your energy are your most valuable resources, and when you decide to focus them on your growth, you're setting yourself up for a future that's truly remarkable. There's also a mindset shift that happens when you start investing in yourself. You begin to see yourself as capable of achieving great things. You start to realize that you don't have to wait for anyone's permission or approval to go after what you want. Your potential is limitless, and the only thing holding you back is your own willingness to invest in your growth. When you decide to make that investment, you start to show up differently in the world. You become more confident, more driven, and more determined to reach your goals. And here's the real beauty of it. The more you invest in yourself, the more you grow, the more you attract the opportunities that align with your goals. Success doesn't come from luck or chance, it comes from preparations. From the work you put in every day to make yourself better. When you commit to becoming the best version of yourself, you begin to attract people, situations, and opportunities that elevate you even further. But there's one thing to keep in mind. The investment you make in yourself is not always going to show instant results. Sometimes growth takes time. Sometimes you'll face setbacks or things won't go as planned, but that's part of the process. Success is not linear. It's a journey, not a destination. And every step you take, even the small ones, is leading you closer to your full potential. What matters is that you keep moving forward. Take a second, ask yourself that you keep investing in yourself even when it's hard. The best investments you make are often the ones that take the longest to pay off, but the rewards are more than worth it. So, I want you to ask yourself, what investments have I made in myself lately? What steps am I taking to grow, to learn, and to evolve? If you're not sure, that's okay. The fact that you're asking the question is a great start. But the real question is, what are you going to do about it? Because the moment you decide to take your growth seriously, to make yourself the priority in your own life, you'll start seeing changes that you never thought possible. You are your greatest investment. The key to unlocking your full potential is not found outside of you, but within. When you commit to your own growth, when you put in the work to become the best version of yourself, you'll find that the world opens up in ways you never imagined. So invest in yourself and watch your life transform. The best is yet to come. Explanation of heading for is, one of the biggest traps people fall into, especially in today's world, is seeking validation from the outside. Whether it's looking for approval from others, trying to live up to someone else's expectations, or constantly measuring our worth by the opinions of those around us, this constant need for external validation is one of the most powerful distractions that holds us back from reaching our true potential. Think about it for a second. How often do you find yourself seeking approval or recognition from other people? Could be from your family, your friends, your boss, or even strangers on social media. We live in a time where everyone's looking for likes, comments, and validation from others to feel good about themselves. But here's the truth. Seeking validation from others is a losing game. It's a never-ending cycle. And no matter how much praise you get or how many people approve of you, it's never enough. You'll always be left wanting more, constantly chasing that next bit of affirmation. The reason for this is simple. The true source of validation, the real power, comes from within you. External validation is a dangerous distraction because it shifts your focus away from your own growth and your own journey. Instead of putting your energy into becoming the best version of yourself, you're putting all your effort into seeking the approval of others. You start to base your worth on how well you're perceived, and you forget the most important truth of all. Your value does not come from other people's opinions. It comes from within. You have an intrinsic worth that is not dependent on how many people like you, how many followers you have, or how successful others think you are. The need for validation often starts at an early age. As children, we are taught to seek approval from our parents, our teachers, and other authority figures. We're taught that we are worthy when we meet other people's expectations. Over time, this gets ingrained in our mindset, and we carry it into adulthood. We begin to define ourselves by how others see us, and we let their approval dictate how we feel about ourselves. The problem with this is that other people's opinions are inconsistent. One day they may praise you, and the next day they may criticize you. If your self-worth is tied to this roller coaster of approval, then you're always going to feel unstable. You're always going to be looking for the next fix, the next compliment, the next validation to feel good about yourself. But what happens when you shift your focus inward? When you start validating yourself, that's when things change. True confidence comes from within. When you learn to appreciate and value yourself without needing the approval of others, you start to operate from a place of strength. You begin to trust your own decisions, your own judgment, and your own path. You stop measuring your success by the standards that others set for you, and you start setting your own standards according to what matters most to you. The problem with external validation is that it makes you dependent on others for your sense of self-worth. You're giving away your power. And when you give away your power to someone else, you lose control over your own life. You start making decisions based on what you think will get you the most approval rather than what's right for you. You begin to live your life to meet other people's expectations, and in doing so, you lose sight of your own goals, dreams, and desires. Now, that doesn't mean you should ignore the feedback or advice of others. It's important to listen and learn from those who have experience and wisdom to offer. But the difference is this. When you stop relying on the approval of others to define your worth, you become free. You no longer need to seek validation from outside sources to feel good about your accomplishments. You learn to validate. You begin to trust your own judgment, your own instincts, and your own ability to achieve your goals. When you focus on self-codectivity, you tap into a deep well of confidence. You stop second-guessing yourself. You stop wondering if what you're doing is good enough for others. Instead, you focus on whether it's good enough for you. Is it aligned with your values? Is it helping you move closer to your vision? Does it bring you fulfillment? When your sense of worth comes from within, you become unstoppable. You no longer wait for others to tell you that you're doing a good job. You know you are because you're living according to your own standards. Here's the thing, when you stop chasing external validation, you become more authentic. You become more in tune with who you really are and what you truly want. You're no longer trying to fit into someone else's mold. You start creating your own mold. And that's where true success and happiness come from. When you're authentic, you attract the right people, the right opportunities, and the right experience. But when you're constantly trying to please everyone else, you end up living a life that isn't yours. So I want you to ask yourself, how much of your energy are you giving away by seeking validation from others? How much time are you spending worrying about what other people think? What would happen if you started validating yourself? If you started trusting your own judgment, believing in your own abilities, and recognizing your own worth? I promise you, the moment you stop depending on others for your sense of value, that's when you'll start to see real growth. That's when you'll start to see real growth. You'll start to become the person you've always wanted to be, and you'll finally unlock the potential that's been inside you all along. Remember, your worth is not determined by anyone else, it's determined by you. And when you realize that, you'll find a new sense of freedom, confidence, and power that will propel you forward on your journey. Stop seeking validation. Start validating yourself and watch how your life transforms. Let's take a moment and think about something we all experience: the pressure of feeling like we're falling behind. You see, the world around us constantly pushes the idea that we need to be faster, more efficient, and achieve success at breakneck speed. We compare ourselves to others who seem to have it all figured out, and we wonder why we haven't reached the same milestones. But here's the truth. Growth isn't a race. It's not about how quickly you get somewhere, but about the direction you're moving in and the consistency with which you keep going. Your pace is your own, and embracing that is one of the most powerful shifts you can make in your life. In a world that seems obsessed with instant success and overnight achievements, we often forget that true, lasting growth takes time. We look at someone else's journey and think we should be right where they are, as if there's a timeline we should be following. The reality is that everyone's path is unique. There's no universal clock ticking for all of us to hit the same goals at the same time. What matters most is that you are moving forward, no matter how fast or slow. As long as you're moving in the right direction, you're on the right track. Think about the process of planting a seed. You don't expect the tree to sprout up overnight. You know that it takes time to grow, to develop roots, and to break through the soil. But with consistent care and nurturing, over time, that tree begins to grow strong, reaching for the sky. Your growth works the same way. Just because you don't see immediate results doesn't mean progress isn't being made. Sometimes the most important work happens in the quiet moments when no one is watching, and that's where real growth takes place. It's not about rushing or forcing things to happen, but about allowing the natural process of growth to unfold. Now, I want you to understand something very important. Growth isn't about perfection either. There are no shortcuts to success. You can't skip the hard work, the mistakes, or the failures. All of these things are part of the process. Growth isn't about avoiding the struggles or skipping the lessons. It's about embracing them, learning from them, and continuing to move forward. You see, the person you are today is the result of every step you've taken so far, every challenge you've faced, and every lesson you've learned. And the person you're becoming is shaped by the choices you make right now. But here's where a lot of people get tripped up. They believe they need to be at a certain place in life by a certain age, or that they should have achieved a certain level of success by now. This pressure leads to comparison, self-doubt, and frustration. The truth is, there's no specific finish line where success is waiting for you. Success is not a destination, it's a journey. And that journey is uniquely yours. You have your own dreams, your own ambitions, and your own pace. Trying to match someone else's timing is only going to slow you down. Focus on your own path and know that every step you take brings you closer to your... What if we stopped thinking of success as a race against others? What if we recognized that we are all on our own individual journeys, at our own pace, with our own challenges and victories? Embracing your own pace means giving yourself permission to grow at the speed that's right for you. It means accepting that your timeline is different from someone else's, and that's okay. In fact, it's more than okay. It's exactly how it should be. Your life isn't meant to be lived on someone else's schedule. Let's be clear, moving at your own pace doesn't mean being complacent. It doesn't mean being lazy or waiting for things to happen without effort. It means being patient with yourself and trusting the process. It means showing up every day, even when things aren't happening as quickly as you'd like. It means taking consistent action, no matter how small, and believing that each step is getting you closer to where you want to be. The key is persistence, not speed. When you embrace your own pace, you begin to enjoy the journey. You start to see the value in each moment, even the tough ones. You begin to understand that setbacks aren't failures. They're simply opportunities to learn and grow. You realize that success isn't about beating everyone else to the top. It's about making steady progress toward your own vision and goals, regardless of how long it takes. Then, when you start to focus on your own growth rather than comparing your progress to someone else's, you begin to experience a sense of peace and fulfillment that's not tied to external benchmarks. The beauty of embracing your own pace is that it allows you to stay focused on what truly matters to you. You stop trying to keep up with everyone else, and you start aligning your actions with your own values and purpose. You make decisions based on what feels right for you, not what others expect of you. And in doing so, you create a life that's authentic and fulfilling, one that reflects who you truly are and what you truly want. Here's something else to remember. You have all the time you need. There's no rush. Life is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And the most important thing you can do is keep putting one foot in front of the other. Celebrate the small wins, learn from the mistakes, and trust that the process will get you to where you need to be. Growth is about consistency, not speed. It's about doing the right things day in and day out with patience and determination. So stop trying to keep up with others. Stop measuring your success by how quickly you reach your goals. Embrace your own pace and trust that your journey is exactly where it's supposed to be. You are on the path to your dreams, and with each step you are getting closer to your full potential. Growth isn't a race, it's a journey. And it's your journey to enjoy at your own pace. Keep moving forward. In life, there's a fundamental truth that many people overlook, and that truth is this. You are the most important person in your own life. Now, that may sound a bit bold or even self-centered to some, but let me tell you, it's not about being selfish. It's about taking responsibility for your own well-being, your own success, and your own happiness. If you want to achieve greatness, if you want to lead a fulfilling life, you must make yourself the priority. This doesn't mean disregarding the needs of others, but it means realizing that you can't give your best to others if you're not giving your best to yourself first. When you take control of your own life, when you make yourself the priority, you are in the best position to show up for the people you care about and to fulfill your purpose in this world. Too often we allow the demands and expectations of others to take over our lives. We get caught up in trying to please everyone, trying to meet every need, and trying to be everything to everyone. In the process, we neglect our own needs, our own dreams, and our own health. We forget that if we don't take care of ourselves, we won't have the energy or the clarity to take care of anyone else. It's like trying to pour from an empty cup. It simply doesn't work. You cannot give what you do not have. That's why making yourself a priority is not just important, it's essential for your overall success and well-being. Taking control of your life starts with a mindset shift. It starts with the realization that you are in charge. No one else can take the reins of your life for you. You are the captain of your own ship, and it's up to you to steer it in the right direction. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that life happens to us, that we are simply victims of circumstances. But the truth is, life is what we make of it. The choices we make, the actions we take, and the way we choose to show up every day all have a profound impact on the direction our life will go. When you start taking control, you realize that your future is in your hands, and you have the power to shape it. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking they don't have the time or energy to focus on themselves. They think that if they put their own needs first, they'll be seen as selfish or lazy, but this is a misconception. In reality, making yourself a priority is an investment in your future. It's about creating the space you need to recharge, to grow, and to become the best version of yourself. It's about putting your health, your mindset, and your personal growth at the top of your list, because without those things, you won't be able to achieve anything else. Think about it. How can you build a successful career if you're exhausted, burned out, not taking care of your body? How can you be a great friend, partner, or parent if you're not nurturing your own soul? When you take care of yourself first, you're giving yourself the foundation you need to build everything else. So, how do you make yourself the priority in your own life? It starts with boundaries. You have to learn to say no to things that drain you, that take away from your energy, and that don't align with your goals. Saying no isn't always easy, especially if you're used to pleasing others, but it's necessary for your growth. When you say no to the things that don't serve you, you create space for the things that truly matter. You create room for your passions, your dreams, your health, and your personal development. And saying no doesn't mean you're being rude or unkind. It means you're respecting yourself and your time. It means you're putting your well-being first so that you can show up as the best version of yourself for others. Another key to making yourself the priority is setting clear goals and aligning your actions with those goals. You need to take time to reflect on what you truly want out of life. What are your dreams? What do you want to achieve? What kind of person do you want to become? When you take control of your life, you take control of your future. And that begins with creating a vision for what you want to accomplish. You control your motivation. But having a vision is just the first step. You need to break that vision down into actionable steps and commit to taking consistent, focused action toward your goals every day. This is where the power of discipline comes in. You must be willing to put in the work, to take the steps, and to stay committed to your goals, even when it's hard or uncomfortable. The only way to create the life you want is to actively shape it with your decisions and actions. Taking control also means taking care of your physical and mental health. It means recognizing that your body is your most important asset. And without it, nothing else matters. If you're not taking care of your health, you're not taking control of your life. Exercise, nutrition, sleep, and stress management, these are the pillars that support everything else. When you invest in your health, you're investing in your ability to live a long, fulfilling life. You're ensuring that you have the energy and vitality to pursue your goals, to serve others, and to enjoy the journey. So make your health a priority. Treat your body with respect and care, and it will pay you back in ways that extend far beyond physical well-being. Finally, taking control means learning to love yourself and trust yourself. Too often, we're our own harshest critics. We beat ourselves up over mistakes, we doubt our abilities, and we question our worth. But in order to take control of your life, you must learn to silence that inner critic and replace it with self-compassion. You must trust yourself to make the right decisions. And you must believe in your ability to overcome challenges and setbacks. When you believe in yourself, when you trust your judgment, and when you recognize your own worth, you step into your power. You are the most important person in your own life. You make yourself a priority, you take control of your future and unlock the potential within you. Your journey is yours to shape. And by taking responsibility for your growth, health, and happiness, you'll become the best version of yourself. So don't wait for the world to change. Take action today. Make yourself the priority and watch your life transform in ways you never imagined. The best is yet to come.